Congratulations as you return to TV for season 18 of Maury. One thing I've noticed is that people celebrate the results sometimes with some insane dancing like twerking and moonwalking. Which celebrations stick out as some of the most over the top for you?
Well, I mean, it's I think more the front flip, back flip of the guy who's proven not to be the father. That's pretty good. I mean and some of the dancing, I think, of the women who prove to the guy that they are the father. That's inventive as well.
Definitely. Your show is actually very educational from a sociological standpoint. What observations have you made over the years about the differences between men and women?
You know, that's an interesting question. I always take a look at the result and try to gauge, for instance, whether this guy, after denying that he was the father of this child, will he get involved with that child? And I've been proven wrong, because if I went with my gut feeling, I didn't think he might. But at the same time, we go back and update the story months and months later, and he indeed did get involved with the child. He might not have gotten back with the mother, but at least he took the responsibility of being a father. So that's very gratifying to me.
Definitely, that's great to hear. Now, we're based in the Bay Area, and we heard back in 1978 you actually were an anchor on TV in San Francisco. Tell us more about that.
Well, it was one of the most memorable parts of my life. I was at KGO, and they had people like Van Amberg and Marsha Brandwin and people like that. And it was a very difficult time in San Francisco because two events happened. It was the assassinations of the mayor, George Moscone, who was a friend of mine, and Harvey Milk, who was part of the city government. And that was one tragedy that we covered that still stands out in my mind. And the other event, of course, was Jonestown and James Jones, what happened down there. And that was so part of the San Francisco Bay Area. And so I covered those two events and the aftermaths of those two events. And I still to this day, if people ask me, what are the events that you covered that really stuck out and you remembered the most, those were two of them.
Definitely. Now, what do you like most, though, about the Bay Area?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's one of the most gorgeous places San Francisco was, and the Bay Area of my lifetime. I had a great 3 years there. I lived in the city. I lived down in North Beach. It was a great area to live. The South Bay area hadn't become Silicon Valley quite yet. It was the late 70s. It was before the outbreak of AIDS. It was an angelic time of my life. It gave me I had just come from Los Angeles, where I had had a miserable 9 months of work, and it kind of gave me back my self-respect in terms of the business. And so I will always remember the Bay Area fondly.
Viewers have a connection with you, Maury, regardless of age or background. People have tried to replicate what you do and have failed. Do you think you have a gift for this?
Well, I'll tell you, it's very interesting, Kirsten, about that, because I have no experience in any of the lives of my guests. My life experience is of a father and mother who were married for 65 years, and a brother and a sister, and I who are still very close together, and so I have nothing that I can rely on in terms of my own life with these guests. But at the same time, because of that, I don't know why I have made a connection with these people, and they kind of trust me, and they think that I am part of their family, and they can unburden their lives in front of me. I don't want to dwell on what it is. I think basically it's a basic sense of humanity. I think that all of us have, and my guests seem to see it in me, and they're very trusting, and that to me is the one important ingredient that I'm so grateful for, is that they've been able to make that connection.
You are definitely a people person. Thank you so much, Maury, and we'll be watching
Thank
season
you.
18.
Thank you, Kirsten.